Welcome back to Snyder's Inc. And we are here for another reaction video, and this one is a mega compilation of the scariest videos to watch this Halloween. And since it's around Halloween, I thought I'd give you all the pleasure of doing reacting to this. Now it's an hour and 1 minute long, so this will be a long one. So I'm going to pause it properly and talk about the videos. So yeah, this might be a long one, so I get it if you didn't want to watch or whatever, but I think this is going to be a fun one to react to. So we are going to get into it. And we are going to get into it in 3, 2, 1.
It's always a good time to get into the Halloween spirit, so I made this mega compilation of my favorite scary videos circulating the internet. Do you think you're brave? Then prove it by making it all the way to the end. When walking alone in the wilderness, you generally don't want to run into anyone at all, let alone someone perched in a place
Is that a person? Is that a person right there?
You'd least expect them. That's exactly what happened to this individual, whose footage was posted to YouTube in August of 2014. The person appears to be walking in a rather remote forested area. Ahead stands a blocked stone tunnel, and sitting atop the concrete is someone dressed.
That is a person. What's a person? How did a person get up there? Why is a person up there? Don't go up there. You're not supposed to be up there.
In a white shirt, facing the tunnel's interior. What are they doing there, and why? Reaching this depth of the forest, or that tunnel itself, are quite difficult tasks. The cameraman doesn't wait to find out, and probably rightly so. He backs away slowly, before turning around and moving quickly out of there. Some locals in the comments insist to never approach that area, saying this is really serious, never go. I gotta agree, better safe than sorry. A team of paranormal experts head to the abandoned county jail in Gonzales, Texas to prove it is really haunted.
Okay.
After exploring for a while, all of them agree that they are feeling an intense anger for no real reason. Finally, one of them decides to confront whatever is responsible for causing their heightened emotional state.
We've been feeling a lot of anger, and I want to know why.
The question is met with even greater anger in return.
You alright?
According to them, an invisible hand slides around his throat and tightly squeezes. The retching noises he makes afterwards seems very real. He runs out of the building and his eyes appear red.
Oh my god, those are bolted red. Those are red and red. See, that's why I don't pick the whole thing. Don't ever call out no damn ghost. I ain't gonna call out no damn ghost. See, these guys found out the hard way.
And watery immediately afterwards.
Found out.
I feel the pressure right now on my neck.
Look at your man, you gotta see your eyes. I'm gonna flip the screen so you can see your eyes, man. Look at your eyes.
Unless he is somehow able to give himself fully red eyes on command. All of this evidence makes me believe that this ghost incident could have been real. A Miami woman was fast asleep on her couch when an unusually creepy looking woman decides to enter her home, captured on the homeowner.
I don't want to be that guy, but this is what us in no care what other people would call a freaking prostitute. Why? Don't look unusual looking is not the way to describe that. A woman who's looking to get picked up by men is the way to describe that. Yes, you might not be. I might be I'm probably overjudging, but the way she dresses, I get that vibe. Plus, she just spoke into a woman's tunnel, so what the fuck? She's not clearly normal.
There's Canary Home security system. This stranger was filmed the entire time she rummaged through this house. Even more odd is how this woman hovers over the homeowner on the couch, watching her sleep. I originally thought this video was fake because the stranger looks like the possessed girl in your typical scary movie, but the incident is 100% real and most likely wouldn't be believed without this footage. This individual...
I'm let me see. One, balls on the woman who broke in. Because that wouldn't do. You don't ever break in while someone's sleeping on a couch. It's too risky. That is too risky. But two, that woman's got to be a deep damn sleeper. Woman sitting there walking around all your bum, and you never get the vibe, the gut instincts that you should wake up. That exists. Bad move.
Was never caught or identified. Sound in the absence of sight can be seriously alarming. This video shows just how frightening it can feel to hear something you cannot see. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Camilla Rose 529. The Redditor explains that she and a friend were cleaning a house when they heard this incredible mayhem outside.
Yeah. What was that? It's freaking me out.
What the hell was that? That has to not actually be real. That cannot be real. That is such a weird noise. Sounds like someone, you know what it was? I'll bet you it sounds like what happened if you blew a hairdryer into mixed with like other noises, and that's what would come out. Because there's no way, this cannot be real. I don't buy it.
They went out to see what was causing all the ruckus. The sound fills up all airspace outside. Though garbled, it sounds a bit like a jet flying overhead. A moment later, however, this terrifying roar blows your eardrums out. Maybe not a jet, perhaps a literal monster.
Yeah. What was that? It's freaking me out.
Camilla writes, "We called the police and they were unable to give us any information about what was going on around us. I never went back to that house again." Redditor Paranormal Psychic notes in the comments, there have been multiple eerie sounds coming seemingly from either the woods or the sky itself, usually music, horns, or even screaming. First time I've ever heard growling. Is this a growl? If not, what is it? It certainly doesn't sound human. This ghost video from Pakistan follows a paranormal expert named Sajjad Salim and his crew as they poke around an old building late at night. Eventually, they come across an apparition whose existence none of them have been able to explain ever since. Standing on the other side of the room is a hunched-over witch-like figure.
What? This camera quality is shit. I'm about to get an ad, so I'll pause the thing. But the camera quality
dressed in
is complete shit. This could be anybody. This could be someone they knew. This could be anybody. This camera is so shit, it's easy to hide it. So I call fake on it.
Tattered clothing. She advances 3 steps and stares at them. Then what happens next baffles everyone. Watch this part and you'll see she instantly vanishes. The red arrow marks where she was standing only moments ago. There's not enough time for her to retreat into the doorway, yet she somehow disappears. Salim crosses the room and finds no one there, leaving him in a stunned silence.
You can't tell she's not there. The camera is too shit. There's no way to know that she's not there.
Ignorance is bliss, and sometimes it's best that certain things remain invisible to the human eye. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Miss Doolittle Tex. This video was taken at the haunted Queen Anne Hotel in San Francisco. Originally posted on YouTube in March of 2020, Tex writes, "I have been listening to creepy stories and been watching YouTube videos about ghost investigations and experiences since they existed, which resulted in me paying more attention to my surroundings, heightening my awareness. The Queen Anne Hotel has some history. Located on Sutter Street in San Francisco, initially built as a girls' boarding school, the Queen Anne Hotel is said to be haunted by the former headmistress, Mary Lake. Her office at room 410 is believed to be the most haunted room in the building. The uploader of the video booked this room to stay in overnight. In preparation for the stay, she bought a FLIR thermal cam for her iPhone. She duly notes that the hotel is charming as heck, and she didn't feel anything particularly unsettling while there. That is, until she thermal cammed room 410. She tested out her thermal cam on her husband's, on electrical sockets, water lines, and other hot and cold spots. Then she entered the bathroom. Pointing her thermal cam towards the half-closed shower curtain, she started to see a figure in the thermal footage next to her that she believed appeared from behind.
Right there. Is that where it's supposed to be? Right there? Easily could be her husband, since we can't see it. Could be also, but husband's also an option.
In the curtain, as you can see, there is her own thermal image in its reflection, and not too far away right beside it, another full-sized figure. Could it be headmistress Mary Lake herself? When going through pictures she took of the room, the uploader also discovered this creepy face in the wall.
Woo! Right there. I got nothing for that one. That one, nope, it's haunted. Never mind. Ghost hunt. Never mind. It's haunted. It's haunted.
Wallpaper. Do you see it? It's almost like the room is watching you. Vickers Hill in Northern Ireland has a twisted history, and a piece of this history may have been caught on video. A bit of backstory. The footage shows a shadowy figure in Georgian attire cross the street around noon near the Church of Ireland.
Got anything for that one? Got anything? No, I don't think, no, you don't. I don't, how the hell did you split? That was one take. There was nothing wrong with the camera. That was perfectly done. What the hell?
Cathedral. Normal looking enough at first. That is, until it vanishes into the wall of the grounds opposite the cathedral. The ancient city of Armagh has a rich Georgian history, so the dress is befitting of the area. According to the man whose grandmother caught this on camera, she was still hyperventilating from the shock of seeing the ghost. If you saw what appeared to be a solid figure vanish like this, wouldn't you be? And considering the history of this place, it's not far-fetched to think this is paranormal. What if you ran into this creature in the middle of the forest? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Snipes Gaming 17, the redditor writes, "Is this a giant wolf or a cryptid? I need some help, Chills. Let's give him some." Well in the woods with a dog barking, off in the distance you can make out a large creature prowling amongst the trees. Soon it lunges at the dog, running him out of the brush and demonstrating its full size and speed.
Whoa! Whoa, go back, go back, go back, go back. Go back, let's keep on.
Soon it lunges at the dog, running him out of the brush and...
Probably a wolf. That's my guess. Probably, I'm gonna go with wolf.
Demonstrating its full size and speed. The creature in the video is enormous. If it's a wolf, it must be a werewolf mid-transition, but most in the comments believe it's something else altogether. Miss Doolittle Tex writes, "That's a wild hog. They can get over 400 pounds. The 70s kid adds, "I also think the trees make it look big, like an illusion. So, what do you think? Wolf?"
That's possible, actually. There's a possibility that the way it is recorded, because of the trees and the distance he is, it looks way bigger than it is. It'd probably just be normal size. And wild hog is a possibility.
Wolf, cryptid, or enormous wild hog? Or is it all just an illusion? When you go onto abandoned property, don't expect to be the only one there. Published to YouTube by Double Bins in January of 2008, this video will dissuade you from ever entering an abandoned home. The clip shows some adventurers exploring an empty home, or one that they think is empty anyway. The two-story White House appears to be in the middle of the countryside. As the boys approach it, its big empty windows are like empty eye sockets, giving the house an even more sinister vibe. They enter the house, which doesn't even have a door. It's wide open to whomever dares come inside. The place is an absolute nightmare. It looks as though something tore through the house and destroyed everything in its wake. The oven door is in the middle of the living room. As the boys walk through, the one filming scans the roof, which has a window open to the second floor. That's when they see they're not alone. A figure passes by in plain view overhead.
The roof is off.
Here's an idea. RBC is investing $500 million over 10 years. And Sarah, Ben.
What was that?
Dude, oh my...
Needless to say, the boy who captures it on film immediately flips out, and they both race out of the house and across the field, whether ghost or human.
He thought the good thing. He's like, nah, I'm out, bro.
And this is definitely something worth fleeing from. If your house was haunted, would you stay, or would you sell it for $100? Abdul Karim published this haunting video, claiming that the house's owner is trying to sell the house for exactly that, but there is yet to be a willing buyer. From the get-go, it's clear something is in the house. As the video begins, a loud bang is heard on the top floor.
Allahu Akbar!
The man taking the video cries out as he climbs the stairs, walking toward the room from where the sounds are coming. As he does, the shattering of glass is heard downstairs.
That can be explained by someone being there that is not here downstairs.
It seems there's more than one
AKA a friend of it.
ghoul haunting the place, or maybe just a very energetic one, moving all the way over the home. He leaves the downstairs ghost to himself for a moment and continues forward, entering the haunted room. After walking in, it appears as though nothing and no one is there, but the door slams behind him. He rushes over and swings it open, but it's slammed.
Okay. That one can be explained by his hand just slamming it. Because all his hand needs to be below the camera and he just swings it and it slams shut. So that I think is what happened with that one. The one beforehand could have been his foot. He could have just moved his foot and kicked the door slammed shut. Made sure the door slammed. So yeah, not really convincing this one.
Slams aggressively closed again. Breathing heavily, he races out of the room. The door slams 3 times, over and over behind him. Finally, it slams closed for good and appears to be shut. The man, getting a second wind of courage, goes and kicks it open. He walks in the room, scanning the premises. Again, there's nothing to be found, but yet another door inside the room begins to slam shut as well. It does so repeatedly. The man walks towards it and around it. Nothing is there. No one is kicking it or causing all of this mayhem. It could only be the paranormal.
Okay, if that isn't true, I have no explanation for that.
He enters another room, leading to a large outdoor balcony.
This man, although I will admit, has more balls than I do, already has the first door slam, and I have the gut instinct to get out of it.
Slams into the hanging overhead light, glass shattering, and the light swings back and forth. The video ends here. After watching it, there's little wonder no one is willing to pay even $100 to purchase this home. Who wants to live with all that racket? I certainly wouldn't. Unknown creatures can be startling, but none more so than this one. This clip submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by KidRob97, wondering what in the heck this creature is.
It's a bat. It's a bat that can't fly. Is that what that has to be what this is? Right? That's all I can think of.
Suggestions in the comments range from a bat to a giant.
Oh no, that might not be a bat. I don't know. still might be, but it doesn't look like a goddamn bat.
Giant flying squirrel to a calago, which is a flying lemur. Knowing what it actually is wouldn't make this footage any easier to watch. The creature is making one of the most agonizing sounds the human ear has
If it is a bat, feel bad because I want to know what happens.
ever heard. While it bounds across the ground, hopping and unable to fly, the people have somehow caught the animal, which is tethered to a stick. If you've never seen this type of creature up close, this isn't the way you'd want to encounter it. People in the comments wonder if the animal somehow got stuck on this branch. However, the poor creature ended up in this position. I think we can all agree with Lisa's Matrix that this is just heartbreaking.
Why are the people calling and not taking this thing off? I don't care that it's a dangerous creature. Don't let it suffer anymore and take the fucking thing off the stick.
When things go haywire in your own home, it's easy to jump to a paranormal conclusion, especially when there appears to be poltergeist activity. Posted to YouTube in January of 2012, the
Oh my god.
uploader explains, "This is real footage taken at my house. As you can see the way the bottle moves, this is inhuman and impossible for a human to make a bottle move and gesture in these motions. This is totally real and scary. So if you are faint of heart, do not watch this, please. This is video of real paranormal activity."
It's a wheel playing spin the bottle.
Yeah.
In the video, the men enter the kitchen, where a bottle on the floor appears to be rolled.
Hold on. I need to go back.
Yeah.
In
What is that? That's a person, right? That has to be a face. That has to be a face, right? I'm pausing this a bit too much, I know, but this has to be a fish, right? Right?
the video, the men enter the kitchen, where a bottle on the floor appears to be rolling around of its own accord. After they enter the room, it stops for a moment before spinning around again. It twirls on its side and then stands straight up on its base. One brave man picks it up and puts it on the kitchen counter, which is where the clip ends. YouTuber MRLWAP2 in the comments suggest there's helium in the plastic bottle, but most people are more alarmed by the zebra pattern cupboards than the so-called ghost. Jenny Chanel writes that zebra print would make even a plastic bottle want to escape a room. So is this a supernatural case, or simply a case of terrible interior design? Only that soda bottle knows. What you discover when out late at night can make your skin crawl. Posted to Reddit, the Redditor writes, people are saying it could be a skinwalker. The on-screen caption reads, "Something weird is happening in my town." And after watching the video, you'll agree with that statement. The video begins with something hopping on all fours over a hill while roaring in an animalistic manner. It's hard to tell what the thing
Okay, this is fake. There's multiple things. One, if this could be just a person. This is probably a person. Two, the girl is laughing while recording this. Okay? That's another thing. And three, and this one was it. That noise sounds edited in. It sounds really edited in. I'm not a master of technology, as you can clearly see by my shitty setup, but I know what editing sounds looks like, and that sound, that animalistic noises, sounds edited to me.
Is at a distance, human or animal. The second clip in the series reads, "Dude, something is in the shed at Desert Willow," and it certainly sounds like it. Something is beating against the barred doors of a shed at night.
Okay, that is more believable.
There's also a terrifying growling voice heard. Though its words are inaudible, it's difficult to tell if the thing is human, but it continues to beat at the walls of the shed. Part 2 of the video series reads, "Stay away from Dynamite Park." In it, barking, howling, and wailing are heard. It doesn't sound like a dog, nor does it sound human. Again, the video captures an unidentified creature at a distance, racing around on all fours.
Could still be a person.
Could this be a skinwalker? Don't stick around to find out. Nevertheless, it appears some serious mysteries are taking place in that town. You might consider calling the cops on the intruder trespassing on your property at night, but when it turns out to be this woman, maybe you should call a ghost hunter instead. Posted to Twitter by Daniela Guerrero, she writes in Spanish, "Okay, my parents have a security company, and how about the officials of a condominium have just passed them a heavy video of what happened last night. The video shows a large yard with a small pool. In the distance, a woman dressed in white crosses the property. She has dark hair and moves steadily forward until she's closer to the camera. She strides across, clearly on a mission, and that mission is to evaporate and
So camera quality shit, and I don't know enough about security cameras to come up with an explanation for that. But it edited well freaking done, just saying.
in plain sight. The phantom trespasser disappears into the night as she rounds a corner. What does she want here? And where did she go? All questions and no answers.
Hold on, watch this again. I think I figured out.
Perhaps that's what we're supposed to.
Boom. You see that? You see the little dart that way? So I don't know if she evaporated or just... I have a feeling now that the disappearing part is fake.
To have. After locking up his shop, Brompton IGA store owner Norm Hurst found a box of fruit snacks in the middle of an aisle, clear and away from its original position. This led him to check his surveillance footage, which has revealed the previous owners may not have been too far off. Hurst told the news that they had warned him that the shop was haunted. Being a skeptic, Hurst thought nothing of it at first, but then odd things began to unfold, and the CCTV footage reveals just one of them. The video shows the packet of fruit roll-ups was thrown quite hard to land where they were found on the ground. No one was in the area when this occurred. In fact, no one was in the store. The incident happened shortly before midnight.
So he could have done it if he's throwing it and it's off camera. Just saying, he could have done it, or a ghost could have done it.
Night when the store was empty. Well, there's a 3-minute time jump in the video from 11:27 to 11:30 p.m. This may be due to surveillance cameras only recording when detecting movements. Paranormal detectives were called in to investigate the matter. The box appears to have been thrown with force into the center of the aisle. At least one paranormal investigator, Jessica Pulverenti, believes the footage is genuine, noting that no strings or wires appear to be involved. The store owner himself thinks it's all a bit of a laugh. It hasn't done anything nasty, he says. The ghost has a sweet tooth. He can only hope it stays that way. YouTuber Stephen G faced a very common fear in this video. Someone's secretly
Someone's fire alarm is going off in my apartment door.
living in their house. He says that a couple years ago, he discovered a person living in his basement, in a closet under a table and a pile of bicycles. Surprisingly, the squatter had been living there for 3 months without ever being detected. Well, already this is creepy enough, but wait, it gets even creepier. Steve leads viewers from the front door of what appears to be an apartment building to his apartment, showing viewers where a stairway leads upstairs to the second and third floors. There is a random door to the side of this stairway with a window above. He notes that the door doesn't have a knob. He said that he just noticed the window yesterday, even though he's been living in this building for 3 years. So naturally, he broke in, unlocking the window for a search, and what he found was pretty terrifying.
Someone's living in this window area? Does the homeowner live in this area? In this living area?
terrifying. A makeshift bed appears in this random storage closet. The bed is a simple pile of blankets and a pillow.
I wouldn't go in there though, because if you get that person shows up, you're probably gonna die.
Situated on a mezzanine of sorts that sits above the below door. There are also boxes in the corner and what appears to be a key laying off to the side. In part 2 of the video series, Steve manages to loop what he thinks is a key with a ski pole, but discovers it's just a keychain. In part 4 of the video series, as some YouTube comments duly note, the sheets that were originally on the bed are now folded and set on top of it. Other YouTubers note a clownish looking face appears in the bottom right hand corner of the window toward
Man, this right here.
towards the end of the video. Yikes.
I don't see it.
Steve also says that he confronted the landlord about the space, which is obviously being lived in, and the landlord made a joke about it, saying that when he gets in a fight with his wife, he lays low in this secret room. I don't know what's creepier, a secret squatter or a landlord using this space for his own man cave in your home, as we've seen in past
I do it. I knew it. It's the homeowner. I'm telling you.
videos. Animals often see things that we don't, and sometimes that can send chills down our spine. Published to YouTube in January of 2018 by the Bram fam. The video starts out tame as the Bram fam picks up a doghouse from the store. They each go about their day doing various things for the vlog, but once Bramty is home with her daughter, she starts hearing things inside the house. The uploader notes that their dog Milo started acting super spooked, staring in the hallway and outside their balcony. As you can see, the dog appears on high alert, unmoving and staring out into the darkness. He is then captured staring out into the hallway. When Louie finally returns home, Bramty says she finally felt relieved. Do you think this dog was sensing something?
Let me tell you what that dog was sensing. That dog was sensing something, and your ass needs to get the hell out of that house.
Or someone in the home? Should they, as Bramty suggested, have the house blessed? That way it'd hopefully be cleansed. It's not too often that you watch a video that completely scares you silly. Published to YouTube by RZ Flame in March of 2017, the uploader of our first clip believes what you're hearing is a ghost, and what you'll soon see will prove it. The sounds are subtle at first. They don't even wake the lone man in the office, who's sleeping on a chair in the corner of the room. Neither does the phone, which rings a couple times shortly after the noises start. He appears to wake slightly, but not enough to get up and answer the phone, and soon he's dozing again. When the phone rings yet again, he finally rises to answer it, before returning to his computer and getting back to work. That's when a chair in the opposite corner of the room spins full circle on its own. This catches the worker's attention briefly, but he shrugs it off and returns to his assignment. A moment later, a water bottle falls from the edge of a desk. At this point, the office worker stands up to gauge what's going on. That's when the poltergeist really has some fun, throwing a chair onto its back in the middle of the office.
What the hell?
This activity seems to be the last
Yeah, I'm out of that.
straw. The man
Boy, did what I would do. I'd run for my life.
screams and races from the room. That's some good judgment on his part. This home in Villisca, Iowa is where an axe-wielding maniac once took the lives of an entire family and 2 guests. Whoever did it was never brought to justice, and now, more than 100 years later, the restless spirits of those left behind have yet to find peace. A YouTuber named Lighthouse Music senses the spirit of children hiding in the closet and starts recording. She speaks in a nice tone and offers candy. Nothing happens for some time until... Then, as if further proof was needed, the spirit appears to follow some other basic commands.
Just a little bit further, or can you close it?
They even ask the child to open the door wider than before as a test, and it timidly seems to obey. But the part that really has me convinced is at the very end.
Just in case that was you, I'm going to do as promised. I'm going to leave you some candy. I'm going to leave it right here, over here on this chair for you, okay? Well, thank you.
Notice how the door shuts harder than any other time in the video as soon as the spirit gets what it wants. Maybe it could be a draft from a nearby window opening and closing the door, but this definitely seems like childlike behavior to me.
I'm not sure on that, but it definitely could be wind.
Nothing like heading out to the old barn in the middle of the night, posted to the Chills narrator
Who goes to a barn in the middle of the night? Go ask shit to go down there.
subreddit by the Comics Man, and originally posted to YouTube in April of 2020 by the channel Me and Some Dudes. Comics Man writes, "Thought I saw something at 1 minute 19 seconds. Don't know. Let's take a look and find out. The guy filming sets out to show us his barn at night. He notes that there's a shed full of roosters to the side, and sometimes they go berserk. He says when they do, and he goes to check on them, the door is always open. His theory is that there are bunnies or raccoons living beneath the barn, but how would they open the door?" Eugene Krabs in the YouTube comments points out at around 1 minute 18 seconds that something appears to duck down behind the gray thing in the barn. Do you see it? We can only hope it's a raccoon and not something creepier. Alone at night.
No, I don't see it.
In an empty school? Nothing to fear, right? Wrong. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Bartholomew Blackwell. The Redditor states that he was working solo in a school that was shut down and empty when he heard a sound in the hallway. The power
Sorry about that. I thought I heard someone knocking on my window. Okay.
had been put out by a storm the previous night.
No one was, by the way.
And with his flashlight on, he started recording. What he heard was haunting. In the dark school hallway, you can hear a faint wailing. It doesn't sound like anything recognizable, although Blackwell noted that to him, it sounded like a group crying. Some in the comments say that perhaps it's wind, or maybe even the Doppler effect of a vehicle of some kind, moving past the school at high speed, noting that he too thinks it could be the wind heightened by a lack of power supply noise. Gus 2155 admits, as someone who is a custodian at a high school, I've heard some strange noises, but nothing like that. Some think it could be a hive of zombies, others suggest a water pipe is running, or a backup generator might be starting up. At least we know Blackwell got out alive. We've seen
It could be anything, Bob. Probably guessing not no go.
plenty of poltergeists on top 15s, but this one is particularly aggressive. Posted to very spooky videos. A major malfunction writes, person captures saucer levitating as poltergeist takes over a room. The video
Get out of that house. Get out of that house, whoever you are. A major malfunction, get out of that house. You'll malfunction if you stay in that house. Get out of it.
video begins in complete chaos as the light from an overhanging fan flashes on and off. While the fan is going, then on the wall, a picture in its frame starts to bang. A moment later, a cup levitates off the table, flings up into the air, and then falls to the floor. The man taking the video gets the heck out of there. That's right. Put as many miles as you can between you and that poltergeist. Seems like Mad Max. A Ring camera caught yet another attempted intruder in the act.
Oh,
Actually, this time too, published to YouTube in a ring cam video by Full Moon Crazies in July of 2019. The surveillance camera was placed behind a lamp and captures a pair of thieves going into a home
This one guy looks over, sees the kid, and he's like, "Yep, I'm good, I'm out."
during the Christmas season. The thieves are partially hiding their faces with their hoodies, and they seem to spy the ring camera right away as they look directly at it. After gathering some backpacks, likely filled with the taken goods, one of the intruders can be seen knocking the camera down to avoid its capturing further incriminating footage, but he didn't totally succeed. Two more intruders are caught on camera entering the room from the hallway. The clip ends without further explanation. These intruders more than likely
Well, they tried at least. They tried to avoid it, they just suck at it.
made off like bandits, but we can only hope this video evidence was enough to catch them. Either way, this cost them Christmas, as they were sure to end up on Santa's naughty list. An abandoned mansion in Houston, Texas appears as the epicenter of paranormal activity in this clip, posted to YouTube by Hugo Blog in August of 2016. The shell of a mansion looks creepy enough on the outside, but then they enter. Wandering around the house in the darkness, at some point, the group captures on video what appears to be a ghostly young girl. They apparently didn't see her in real time, as they don't race from the house or cry out in fear. This image was only discovered after playing back the footage.
That could be real,
This would
but
make
I
a
don't
wonderful
think
setting
it's
for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice.
Take it as you will.
I wish you a good stay in.
Would you have the guts to enter here? Cross the threshold and find out. All the more reason to stay out of the forest. Published to YouTube by CJ Fashion in April of 2020. The channel writes, "Just when I thought a haunted forest couldn't get any scarier, there was an incident inside the Pocomoke forest with a person. Still not sure exactly what is going on with this place, but I can tell you this. Something very weird and sketchy is going on in this forest. Pocomoke Forest is located in Maryland and is said to be haunted. Let's find out just how haunted it is." As the crew gets ready to enter the forest, they see a shadow speed across through the woods, and this is only the beginning. They hear something big growling and start to wonder if it could be a bear. As CJ explains, they've been at this site before and he believes his friend Sunny was possessed here. He also notes they're already hearing eerie footsteps all around. They start to explore the forest deeper, hearing noises at all angles.
This was.
Well, that's definitely a yell. That was definitely an actual yell. Well, it came from someone else, or someone they should be terrified of a different story. But that was definitely a yell.
As many points out, it's at around 28 minutes in that there appears to be a man standing in the forest next to a tree in the distant darkness.
I don't see it. Don't see it.
CJ says that their eyes are playing tricks on them, but I don't know about that. It's like the Where's Waldo of ghost hunts, and Waldo is definitely there. Can you find this unknown thing in the forest? Would you even want to?
Nope, don't see it, don't believe it, don't see it.
There seems to be many surprises for new renters or homeowners in these clips. YouTuber Dempsey7 also recently moved into this apartment. He said he rented the place without viewing it because it looked nice and the rent was low.
Well, that's what stupid people do. Don't do that. Don't do that to any home renter out there. Do not buy it without seeing it. That's how stupid stuff starts. That's how stupidness happens. Don't do that.
When he got there, he realized why it was so cheap. There are really high ceilings, like a 19th century monastery in the middle of England, he said. He then takes viewers on a tour through the apartment. There are mirrors all over. All of this is nothing compared to what he found just outside the bathroom. Carved into the floorboards, you can clearly see a hatch in the floor, kitted out with a handle. Dempsey
My old house, before I lived in this apartment. My old house had something like this, where on the floor under one of my dressers was a handle thing, and we've never opened it. I love to open it. I want to know what's in it, but I haven't been able to yet. Mark my words. Someday on video, I will open. We are going to open it.
7 says he figured it was a bit
I will wait till we get enough people though who want to see it, but we are going to open it.
of underground storage. He lifts the lid up, and it does appear to be a storage space. That is, until you look beyond the surface and see that the space expands below pretty deeply. Dempsey 7 guides viewers down stone stairs that lead into what he calls a dungeon. There's a corridor heading off ahead, lots of
Well, this is where someone got kidnapped.
stones and discarded brick and wiring. There is a room to the right, directly below Dempsey 7's apartment. On the wall is graffiti that reads, CCFC OK, judging from the flooring. Dempsey 7 believes it used to be a burial ground. He heads down the corridor. Most of the dungeon is piled with rubbish, dirt, and old brick. He finds a newspaper dating back to 1984. He finds what looks like an old front door. Did someone used to live here? Or perhaps the house was built over an older existing foundation? Whatever the case, a dungeon is one secret room I wouldn't want to find in my new home. What would you think if you saw this creature crossing
No, I wouldn't want to find that in my home either.
the road in front of you? Published to YouTube by Haunted Family Podcast in August of 2018, the YouTuber wonders what this mysterious traffic camera footage has captured, making a break for it on the US 119. Several flashes of light
It could be a person, that literally could be anything.
appear at the beginning of the clip, but it's uncertain whether or not those flashes occurred in reality, or that dark road, and or what they are coming from. Did they have anything to do with the creature who's crossing? Did he trigger a motion sensor light? Wherever the light's coming from, the creature itself is even more frightening. Standing tall and spindly, it's hard to even make out legs, but its upright position indicates it's on 2 rather than 4. The body of this thing is clear above the road, suggesting the creature must be rather
It's probably a person.
tall. It appears out of the darkness on one side of the road and disappears into the shadows on the other side. What is this thing? Is it natural or paranormal? My gut is saying the latter. Some scary videos just stay with you, so much so that you wish you'd never seen them in the first place. This video comes from Ghost Crusaders, published to YouTube in April of 2020. This episode explores the haunted Leckworth Village, the crew's very first haunted location, which they investigated in 2014. Located in Rockland County, New York, in a 1921 report, over half of the residents in Leckworth were youth, 328 of the 506 patients, ranging from the age of 0 to 16. This fact may contribute to the negative energy in the village, as many Leckworth staff said a scarcity in necessary supplies, as well as food and water. Leckworth's conditions were exposed through photographs and media investigations, and although reforms were made in the 1970s due to public pressure, Leckworth permanently closed in 1996. Since then, the complex has fallen into decay. Everything remains how it was left, instantly abandoned. The Ghost Crusaders explores this institution and all its appalling history. The crew notes in the comments, while using an SB11 spirit box, I never thought I captured any EVPs. It wasn't until reviewing the footage for this episode that I heard the voice, and yes, I can hear other voices like multiple people talking, which I do say at one point, but I edited out for timing, but I can't make out what they are saying.
If anybody's in here,
At one point, the EVP captures a voice saying,
So something comes through, it should be irrelevant. So it's not part of the interference. So something comes through, it should be irrelevant.
A moment later, the voice pleads, please don't hurt me. Later, when they are in the bathroom, a voice, potentially from a phantom orderly of the hospital, tells them to sit, as if directing them to do their business on the toilet.
That was a girl's voice.
Ain't ghosts no telling me when to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Some of the EVPs mentioned are not very clear, but the female scream that's heard through the spirit box at one point is definitely frightening. Later, their cameras run out of battery, and while they're changing the batteries, the audio of the EVP is still captured. A voice says, "Leave me alone." At the same time, the investigator
I can't hear that, but I can't make that out at all, so I don't even know stuff.
who heard the voice in real time, Dan, says he felt a cold breeze on the back of his neck, and he felt someone was standing behind them, whispering into his ear, "Would you have the stomach to visit Lexworth Village? Neither would we." Not only do you have to worry about pyrotechnic incidents at work, you might have to worry about ghosts as well. YouTuber Joey Nike 12 posted this video of a store he claims is haunted in Kingsville. At the beginning of the video, he tells a co-worker, "Let's go record that room," before heading to the haunted room in question. They set a video camera up to record the purportedly paranormal activity that occurs in this room. About 3 minutes into the footage, you can see a dustpan move ever so slightly, and then not ever so slightly. It falls over, and a moment later,
That could have been done by wind.
the door next to it slams closed.
Okay, no, it's not. Never mind. No, hey, don't go gonna slam shut. Actually, maybe it could, but probably not. You have a really good win for that.
The boys re-enter the room nonchalantly, not knowing the strangeness that has just occurred there, but after coming across this video that went too far, they may not want to enter this haunted storage room ever again. A YouTuber named BR Henry 16 is deep in a Southern California mine when he sees a pale light off in the distance. The light doesn't have the intense brightness of modern electronics. Instead, it looks dim and swings at waist level, kind of like an old lantern would have. BR Henry 16 is sure that this is the spirit of a cave miner, and I would have to agree. Let me know if you think the same, or if you believe this portion of the video was staged. What a nightmare.
I don't care for that one.
Published to YouTube in June of 2018, Phelan Fairchild writes that mayflies swarm in from the lake every year and have to be snowplowed off roads and walkways.
That is freaking insane.
The video shows Fairchild's front desk absolutely littered with the bugs. At first you think they're a pile of fall leaves or other debris, but upon closer inspection, you can see, as Fairchild points out, hundreds of thousands of bugs all over the place. They're on the deck floor, on the front door.
Not me, I'm out. I'm moving somewhere else. Nope, that's it. I don't want to deal with them. Nope, not in my house.
On the window, and on the entire exterior of this poor woman's house. Fairchild notes that the spiders are having a heyday with this. You can't look away from this creepy sight. Fairchild says that it stinks and will be hard to clean up. It's not noted where she lives, but mayflies do appear near fresh water and are signs of a healthy water ecosystem. Swarms like this one can last for up to a month. Seems like a summer holiday abroad is in order. This not-so-smart intruder's attempted entering was thwarted by a much smarter doorbell. When this stranger attempted to break into the...
This guy made himself suspicious in about 2 seconds. Driving on the road, he's like, yeah, just abruptly stop and back up. What are you doing?
This home in Sydney Hills District, where a woman and her child were alone inside. The man is captured on several security cameras, staking out the premises, ringing the doorbell and waiting. Before
You're not even gonna wear a mask or anything. You're not gonna try to hide your face at all. You're not even... nothing? Idiots.
peering into the windows and trying the door handle several times.
Hello? Hello? Hi, are you...
That smells like you could be a sexy pirate.
Yo ho, matey.
No, sorry. So this guy went, someone hit the doorbell thing where you can talk on it. Guy responded immediately, oh, sorry, wrong house, and left. Oh, you dumbass.
When the homeowner finally responds to the man's attempted break-in via the Ring doorbell, the homeowner's voice obviously scares the man, who quickly rushes off apologizing and claiming he had the wrong house. There's nothing better than outsmarting an intruder. Hopefully he didn't try again later. You're exploring a dark underground mine, water dripping, echo, silence, and then you hear this. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Resurrect. The Redditor was on an adventure through the Disido mine in Arizona when he heard what he describes as footsteps on wood coming from deep within the tunnel. He says he and his crew were the only ones there at the time. Would you hightail it out of there or wait to see who or what was approaching? Well, most in the comments are already racing for the hills. Redditor JD250 offers a potential explanation. He writes, when I was a kid, I lived up in Tennessee right on an old mine, used by the town for storing stuff in the early 1800s, and I would hear sounds like these. Although JD says that he doesn't personally believe in ghosts, he admits to sensing the presence of pain and suffering in a place. On another note, the Redditor felt angry and hostile vibes in the place and insisted that it felt like something terrible had occurred in that mine, and he didn't want to know what it was. He also notes that his stepfather felt he couldn't breathe at one point, and not from overexertion. Do you think this could be explained naturally? Or is something haunting this mining tunnel? Wherever you stand, myself and most agree that this is one of the creepiest videos posted. Everyone is
That is interesting.
afraid of the boogeyman, but most people chalk him up to childhood nightmares. But what if the boogeyman is you? This video published
Okay, that's fake.
to YouTube in February of 2009 by Dog4Man92. Once you see a reflection take on a life of its own, you'll wish this video never existed.
That's fake. That is so fake that I don't buy it. I don't buy it. That is fake. What makes him... Okay, so here's my reason it's fake. One, what made him record this? Because he clearly recorded with the intention to capture this. If this is real, I say. So what happened that made him have to capture this reflection quotations doing a different movement? My easy guess is that he just recorded himself doing the turnaround thing, so it was in the mirror, then filmed himself here, and just made them work with each other. Edit them good. Because I don't buy this happened.
The video at first appears normal, a man and his reflection more or less angled accurately in relation to each other. That is, until this uncanny moment where the reflection turns. The look it gives its double is a bit more than unnerving. Seeing this video may make you be wary of your own reflection. As YouTuber Sophie Bell notes in the comments, the creepy thing is, unless you are looking at it, all you can see is yourself, so you never know if your reflection is looking back at you. The next time you gaze at yourself in the mirror, don't you dare look away. Was this paranormal or a simple camera trick? Either one seems freaky to me. There's nothing creepier than finding extra limbs in your home movie. Published to YouTube in March of 2015 by Patrick Cochran. This video of the haunted Hinsdale house in New York will leave you terrified. Located on McMahon Road in Hinsdale, New York, the Hinsdale house runs tours for paranormal investigators and scare fans alike, as it's known to be one of the most haunted houses in the area. The mysterious history of the place includes everything from an exorcism to
Oh God. Oh. My I just started really hurting. I don't know what to say to that, but probably because I've been sitting too long. That's my guess, but.
Unexplainable events and sightings. Some of these events are recorded in the book, Echoes of a Haunting. Haunting is centered around the Dandy family who lived in the home with their kin in the 70s. The family claims a number of spirits visited them during their stay, and they even had a priest come on more than one occasion to perform an exorcism. The house won out though, and the Dandy family eventually fled the haunted place. A number of other families made attempts to call the Hinsdale house their home, but no one stayed for long. The present owner, Daniel Clays, doesn't live in the home, but allows paranormal teams to investigate the home. This video may show an investigation, or just a regular ghost tour. The group wanders through the haunted house in the darkness, which is creepy enough as it is. Then around 2:36 you see it. A strange arm swings into sight in the darkness. What is that? It certainly doesn't look human. YouTuber Tommy Poo writes
I have nothing. I'm gonna guess editing.
In the comments, of all the countless videos I have viewed on YouTube and other social media sites since 2009, this is only the second where I believe visual
My chair is so uncomfortable right now. I keep moving myself around if that's what I wanted.
proof of paranormal entities has been digitally captured. YouTuber Ty Cheeman adds, I was involved in the paranormal investigation show as a special guest star at the Hinsdale house 2 years ago, and it has plagued me since with negative activity around me and my home. It seems Ty was certainly not alone in his experience. There's a reason no family ever lasted long in the Hinsdale house. Could you? Me neither. This exotic bat with an overdeveloped face, first found in Kenya, could be the carrier of many
I feel bad for whatever's going on with that bat.
bad things animal wildlife officials fear. Its large head does not look like any bat ever seen before, and its eyes look very big as well. You don't get to see its teeth out, but I can only assume they are as massive as the rest of its cranium. To make matters worse, most of these strange bats start to appear throughout the area. No one knows where they came from, or what has caused them to have such mutated features. If this new species does carry some sort of strange disease, I really hope they are able to quarantine it and keep it from spreading to other parts of the world. This 6-second video was taken back in 2010 and has been puzzling the YouTube community ever since. A YouTuber named Mark Grove reacts fast and manages to record no less than 3 specters filling the doorway to his living room. A closer look reveals what could be the spirits of a previous family that lived here. The one in the middle appears
Chemical quality is shit, and that could easily just be 3 people walking in.
to be a child with a large adult to the left and a medium-sized teenager to the right. Mark Grove claims to have seen a 4th ghost in this video, but I honestly don't. The one to the far left is apparently just a chair according to the description, so let me know what the 4th one is if you can see it. This footage submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit was filmed at night and shows a red streak whipping across the dark sky overhead.
I have nothing for this. This is literally anyone in the comments come up with something.
A loud sound blares throughout, not sure if it's an alarm or what. The streak of red light sparks like fireworks and then dissipates. We assume being stopped by the sea ram as the title claims. Redditors in the comments find it in action to be pretty incredible but equally frightening. I have to say I agree. Multiple cameras capture a UFO hovering over Jerusalem in 2011. The small moving ball of light glides over the building tops for a while, and then does a dazzling aerial maneuver that no human aircraft could ever possibly replicate. I would think this is CGI, but the same event was reportedly witnessed by numerous people who don't know each other.
Aliens are real, ladies and gentlemen. There is confirmation.
In this second video, you can see the ball of light is over the same domed building as the before and abruptly flies straight up. I will admit that the UFO in the first video looks a little different than the UFO in the second video, but I think the first video was recorded with a digital camera and the second was recorded with a cell phone from almost a decade ago, so that would explain the visual discrepancies. Do you believe in miracles? Posted to YouTube in October of 2011, the CCTV footage purportedly
Oh, hell to the no. That's fake. That's fake.
Captured this. The footage shows a brightly lit winged figure spring from the sky to the earth, only to launch back up again and disappear. A moment later, a group of normal human passers-by come running to the scene, searching the place where the creature landed and looking up at the sky. I think it could be CGI, or could it be a real-life miracle? Let your eyes do the work. In this vlog, it's Justin Stewart, and guys, it's me, Andy, visit a mansion to go to a party. No one is there, so they sneak in. The mansion is huge, with a bridge and a waterfall.
Why would you break into someone's mansion for? You know why they have mansions? Because they are rich and have people. And them people are gonna kill you, alright? Idiots.
4 garages, a gym, a climbing rock wall, a sauna, and a library. It's insane. And finally, after exploring the house, they find a secret room. A door is camouflaged into one wall, but they spot that the bottom is raised a bit, and there's a clear mark that someone has pressed into the corner at some point. One of the crew presses on the door, and it opens into darkness. They hit the light switch and find a whole other room out of sight. The room beyond is slightly underwhelming compared to the rest of the house. The room is bare, no furniture, nothing on the walls. What the homeowners used it for is completely unknown. Well, it's a tad eerie to find a room completely hidden in this incredible mansion. You kind of wish there was more to it, although maybe there is, and we just don't know it yet. In the moment.
So, you better hope these mansion people don't know, because if they have a secret room they don't want no one to know about and you just exposed it in a YouTube video, you better hope they don't track your asses down. I'm just saying.
You might not catch some unexpected apparition appearing around you. It's only when you play that moment back that you find it. Published by William Villas in September of 2013. He writes in Malay, "This video was filmed on August 3rd, 2013 when we were waiting for the troops to have a video clip that was still unavailable. The video shows a group of men sitting and talking in the darkness. They appear to be sitting in a stairwell. As they laugh, completely oblivious to what's going on around them, you see a girl dressed in white with long black hair and
When it comes to trimming your balls, always use the right tools for the job.
The new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer.
And shoulders hunched forward, passed by slow.
I'm gonna say fake, but nice it up.
Slowly at the top of the stairway. The men must not have noticed in the moment as they continue on as usual, but they sure must have gotten the scare of their lives when they watched this clip back later on, only to make this mysterious and unexpected.
No, they didn't see it because it wasn't there at first, but I thought, you know, it'd be funny, let's add a girl here to make a song, it'd be very scary and popular.
To discovery. Once you see the apparition, you watch it again, over and over, because you can't look away from it. A social media campaign in Spain is using traffic cameras to capture distracted drivers in order to highlight the dangers they pose. Distracted driving is defined as concentrating on other activities while driving, like mobile phones, GPS or sat-nav, or even children in the back seat. While this video captures the driver of a big rig on his mobile phone, other strange cases include a motorist trying to complete a Rubik's Cube while at the wheel. Crazy, right? What would you do if you lived in a haunted...
Distract drivers are bad, don't get distracted while driving, although I wouldn't say that's scary.
House. YouTuber Charles Larita and the Mischief decided to film it. He posted this video in June of 2011, writing, "My house is seriously haunted, and I'm still freaked out about this. In the video, he claims he always hears noises coming from his room, even when there's no one there, and while he's in his room, he feels a strange presence. After setting up a camera at night with the lights on, he discovered something strange around 2 hours into the footage. Here's what he found. The video shows a shot of the room, somewhat unfocused, with a chest of drawers, a black guitar case leaning up against it, and a door. After a moment, the light on the chest of the drawers starts to shake back and forth slightly. Something falls off the top of the chest, and then the door to the left swings close with exactly no one in sight.
Whoa! That could not have been done by rope, could it? So the lamp shaking, I feel they couldn't have, to be too big of a risk because of the fact that if he lives with family, they probably give him shit for that. The thing could have been done by rope. He could have pulled it and not knocked it off. Here, if he's sitting in the room, I feel he would not have been able to pull this off because the door would not have closed all the way.
Many in the comments are freaked out by this bizarre clip, with BTS Nelly Thickums writing, "Move out of that house." Others agree they would have hightailed it out of that place. What would you do if this was your home? A YouTuber named Michael JP86 is recording a cemetery late at night to see if anything strange will happen. Sure enough, a mysterious light materializes in the distance.
What is it? That car stopped over there?
At first, they suspect it could be the headlights of oncoming traffic, but when no vehicles drive by, they realize much to their horror that the light is actually coming from within the cemetery itself. According to Michael JP86, the rectangular shape shown here is actually a doorway made of pure light. Watch again in slow motion, and you'll
a doorway of pure light. Sure, I'll let you have it.
See a small figure run into the doorway moments before the light fades away. If this isn't paranormal, then let me know what you think caused the light to appear, and also
So you sort of can, sort of.
So what the shadow running into it was. Have you ever caught something creepy on video while using an app? That's what happened to these people who posted the footage to Reddit. Watch the window behind the girl. About 4 seconds into this clip, you'll spot exactly what scared her.
Ooh. Okay. So again, could be fake. All these could be fake. But I swear that exact shot of the window was done and no one was there. So how does someone get there that quickly? I could be wrong, and if I'm choosing real fake, I'm gonna say fake, but I just want to put that in there. How could that have happened?
Her. At the beginning of the video, nothing can be seen silhouetted by the light from the window, but 4 seconds in, when the girl pans over the window again, this figure appears. What is that? It looks like the figure is walking around inside her apartment. While some think this is obviously a ghost, and others a gargoyle, some in the comments of the video are in fear for the girl's life. Viggy Poos writes, "If it's not a ghost, it may be an intruder. Please call the police." Others believe that there's some more plausible explanations. Nicosaurus Rex, for instance, says that it looks like it could be some item stood up on a dresser or surface that she passes by. It does appear as though she's turning the corner while trying to avoid something near the...
It could, yeah, now that you said, because it could be a dresser here next to be like a bottle, because you can see the motion of the bottle, and then like this part here could be the thing, and that could be the lid area. Yeah, I can see it.
The hallway. So the explanation could very well be just that.
Yeah.
The figure is rather something out of focus stood on a surface closer to the hallway. Whatever it is, I think we can all agree this video raises many questions, while at the same time being incredibly creepy. In the event that you're traveling through Reykjavik, be aware that strange randos might become traffic cones. Published to YouTube in August of 2018, this footage is courtesy of the Reykjavik.
You see, this is where you people, this is where people in cities have they. I'll run them down. I'll run them down.
Police departments.
You dig on my way, your ass gonna be hit.
Clip shows traffic being clogged right up as two people stand in front of two lanes of cars for no explicable reason. Even as the red light has changed to allow through traffic, the two cars in the lead pull right up to the individuals, but neither moves. Meanwhile, other pedestrians cross the street, glancing at folks holding up traffic, but otherwise not getting involved. The cars continue to pile up for a long stretch behind them. Then, suddenly at once, the pair turns and leaves the street, jogging off, smiling. No doubt we'll never know. Have you ever heard something in nature that doesn't sound natural at all? This video was cross-posted by Cursed Curses to the Chills Narrator subreddit, who thought these sounds were weird enough to share. Originally posted to What Is This by Sir M Sport, the Redditor explains that the strange sound seems to be originating from the woods and the sky surrounding his house in rural Georgia. He said although his phone ran out of battery, he heard the sounds long after the recording ends. The user asks the Reddit community for help
They are weird. I have nothing for it. I can't explain that at all.
in identifying the source of these sounds after asking a few of his neighbors who said they hadn't heard such noises before. One of these neighbors, who lives on a hill, said the sounds definitely seem to be coming directly from the sky. Listen closely. The noises sound like irregular high-speed traffic for a moment. But then another tone enters in, like a spaceship door opening. The murmur continues, oscillating slightly. There are many theories in the comments, with Wolfish Fluff coming up with one of the most likely theories, suggesting that it sounds like a power plant or a generator farm. He notes the revving up sound could be the activation. He writes, my guess is that there's one of these facilities somewhere in your area, and the sound is coming from the sky because you're far enough away that basically the sound is bouncing off the atmosphere and then traveling to you. This would cause the muffling and the distortion.
I buy it.
Other less likely theories include alligators, unknown flying objects, or a big
Well, it's not an alligator, I can tell you that.
tunnel. Any other suggestions? What do you think these sounds may be? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds, because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. It's not unusual to try and make out figures in the clouds, but what happens when the figures are not just your imagination? This dark diamond-shaped figure floating over a body of water and below a curtain of clouds is not something your imagination conjured up. What do you see?
I can't think of anything to describe what this is. Another one. You got 2 in the comments. Describe what is this? Let me know. What do you think this is?
Well, some in the comments of the video believe it's a star destroyer, a tear in the space-time continuum, or the monarch in the cocoon from Venture Brothers. Others take a more practical approach. It's called a water spout, Fisticuffs writes. And after reading up on the characteristics of a water spout, I must say I have to agree. Otherwise known as a non-supercell tornado, the funnel-like vortex occurring above a body of water in tropical or subtropical regions is
I don't know what that is, so if they want to go for it, I'll look it up.
often connected to clouds overhead. So as ominous as this figure may appear, it could be naturally occurring. Still, nevertheless, it will make you question everything if you are.
Alrighty, everybody. That is the reaction video for the mega compilation on the scariest videos to watch this Halloween. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all had a good time like I did. If you could subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate you subscribe to